What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Everybody's having a great day or week or month or whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and wanting to learn more about today's topic. Today's topic is a little weird for me to talk about. I'm not actually one that tries to promote my tone as much because, I mean, as you know, I use a lot of tone factor stuff, but a couple of people asked me how I dialed it in, because I feel like whenever you do purchase, whether they're IRs or preset packages from anybody, if you're using digital stuff, you run into where you kind of got to dial it into your room, and whether that be your sanctuary or your bedroom or your studio or wherever you're at. So we're going to look at a couple things today. I'm going to go over things that I think personally are best, and then we're going to actually look at HX Edit, and I'll kind of show you what I'm working with. So let's check it out, and yeah. So first thing I want to point out off the rip, that these tones and these IRs, these amps, whatever, this is obviously not my doing. Of course, I did the tweaking and stuff to get what I love out of it, but the main overall IRs are the tone factor IRs. I've been using tone factor stuff, well, not even really tone factor stuff. I've been using David Hislop stuff since the release, whenever I got this. I think I got this shortly after it came out, and David Hislop made his Bethel amps IRs, and we threw them in there, and then, then they release all the different stuff. Anyways, so I'm actually just switched up 2 weeks ago to their XR IRs. Definitely could hear a difference in them almost immediately just on their videos, and they're talking about them and whatever. Actually hearing it for myself, it was crazy the difference. They respond to overdrives a lot better, and that little cloudiness in the reverbs and stuff like that, you get a little less of that. So that's the first thing, is that these are not my created tones. These are just my modified XRIRs. So when we dive down into these, hopefully you keep watching and all that kind of stuff, and you really love the videos that I've been putting out. Make sure to check out all the other courses and stuff like that on beginner mistakes and things to stay away from, and all those videos, and the hymn locker of a couple hymns. I know I have been very slack on that. It's just been so busy around my work and all that kind of stuff. You might be able to hear that. That was my dog. So anyways, all right, let's get to it. All right, so I'm in here at my presets that I'm using right now when it comes to all my stuff. As you can see, this is the bank that I use and the preset that I use. I don't use snapshots in any kind of way. I don't use, flipping between different pages and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes, as you'll see here, I have the Tone Factor Vox and Pro Sonic. This is actually the David Hislop amps that, he had on his website when I first got my HX Stomp. And this is the Vox with the Benson. I think I even in my presets, I also have the matchless DC30, but I haven't quite figured that one out. I'd love to make one with the Benson and the matchless. But either way, today we're going to be talking about this one here. So I guess no other thing but to just dive in and check it out. Let me check. Able to make sure we're good. All right, we're recording. So perfect. All right, so first things I'm going to just talk about, I wanted to actually take you into HX Edit and let you actually see what I'm doing, instead of just trying to talk about it and then going into the little screen and trying to record the little screen on my HX Stomp. I will say, first things to know is that on the volume control on the actual HX Stomp, I have the volume sitting where where it's actually on, where it says volume, I have it on the E around 1 o'clock. For some reason on that one, they actually put that where that's unity, you would think unity is dead center, but it's actually not. So in case you didn't know that, there's your first thing. So one of the first things I noticed when it came to the tone factor stuff, and one of the questions that I hope I can answer with this video, is that this actually is, I thought I was the only one who dealt with this, but I think everybody has dealt with this one, but I think they did it on purpose. So when you first download these IRs and their IR packs from Tone Factor, you'll notice that the volume is very quiet. I think they did that on purpose just so like you can turn it up to whatever you need for your soundboard or whatever. See, at our place, what I try to do is whenever I'm sound checking through my clean tone to get a good signal check, I try to make sure that I'll turn I'll go to my most boosted signal, and then that's how I'll do my I try to make sure that it's almost hitting in the yellow. So it's not quite peaking, but it's hitting in the yellow on a soundboard. So let's go through this. I'll go through the signal chain first, and I'll talk about how I get what I'm going for. So we'll start right here with this boost. Now the boost is also, it's just a dB boost that David Hislop threw in there. His is only, I think, a 3 dB boost, but I actually like to cut through a little bit more. So just remember that when I'm talking about through this stuff, that I'm talking from my personal experience, and these are things you can try, or you don't have to try at all. It's up to you. So if I engage my the gain switch, you'll see that it just went to 6 dB. So I have it going up 6 dB. That may seem a little much, but I'm also a type of guy that sometimes I like just my actual clean tone with no drive whatsoever. And like if you're thinking about Reckless Love, that beginning and stuff like that, sometimes like I want to make sure it's cutting through, but I don't want to add like any crunch or any kind of gain to it whatsoever. I literally just want the volume to turn up on my clean tone. So that's where I'm using that 6 dB boost for something as that. I don't always use it on lead lines or solos or anything like that. Sometimes I'll use the boost, my boost pedals and all that. But okay, anyway, so the next thing we go to is the amps, and this is where I split between my left signal and then my right signal right here. So on this right here, we have the AC30, have the bright, and what I did was I brought the drive on both my amps. I brought them up a little bit more compared to what they were usually at. I think they're at like 3 something, but I actually have them sitting at 5.8. I think on both. Yeah, I have 5.8 on both. And the reason why I did that is because I like it almost feeling like the tubes are really turned up, and like it's getting that natural to where like if I dig in, it has just a little punch to it, and it's not like too crazy or too much. So that's why I turned the drive up there. I didn't touch any of the master volumes or the channel volumes on here. I don't know if the guy who had asked the question about like if they were too quiet or if his IRs were too quiet, if that's where he was turning it up from. Not really. That's not where I'm doing it from. So we'll go to the ProSonic here, the mail order twin. I just turned that drive up, and then I kept the channel volume and master at the same. So now, when it comes to dialing this in, I have a preference of thinking that, okay, so I want to get my tone here of like my EQing done in the amps, but some people were talking that like, it still feels too bright sometimes, or it still feels whatever, and they start trying to tweak their amps. I'm going to show you what I do in just a second, where I kind of got these kind of where I wanted, and then Well, I'll just show you in just a second. So then we move to the IRs. Now this is a little bit different. So I didn't touch these at all. So let me go here. So these are the tone factor ones, right? So I'll go to this preset so you can see. I think I did it on these. Did I do it on this? Oh, okay. All right. So we'll go back here. So this is back to the XR IRs. So you'll see that the level of the IRs are sitting at negative 18 on their level. You see that? And then, like I said, I'm using the 545 enhanced. And they're a little bit brighter on the enhanced. So, oh wow. I actually need to change this. But you'll see. So this is a great example of how I would do this. So you got your pans, right? Everything's right. This is where I did a little bit of tweaking, was in here. So if we go to my old one, you see right in here, this was knocked back, I think, to somewhere right in here, like negative 15 or whatever, and I brought it up to negative 10 dB. If you find yourself needing a little bit of push, try doing this. So we're going to take this right here to negative 10 dB, and we're actually going to go ahead and save it. I save my presets every single time that I change something. I save it just to make sure that I don't get any kind of I don't forget about anything, and we don't lose track of where we're at. So try that first. If you feel like your signal is just not as loud and you're having to max out the the HX Stomp. Sorry. If you feel like you're having to max that out, try this first. See where this overall level is, not between A and B. I wouldn't adjust these. I'd keep these both the same for their levels, so you don't get like where it's louder on the right side or louder on the left side. Let the sound guy do that if that's something he wants to do. So make sure that your overall level is sitting right. And then your main, make sure that it's at 0 dB, and then your pan is not doing anything weird there. But keeping these at negative 18, I think why, this is my personal thought. This is not a thus saith the Lord type thing. I think they ran these at negative 18 because they were making sure that like it really just sat up, because it's gonna be harder to turn down and bring down the attacks and stuff like that, and easier to turn them up. So I think that's why they went to negative 18s. So this is where I am messing with my EQing. You can see this EQ block right here. So we personally at my church, this is where we did make some changes, just because I have just personal preferences. My low frequency EQing and stuff. So if we go back here to this one, you can see I also did this one as well. Now, I know that there are some assigned things like here, here, and here to like high cut and all that kind of stuff. The high gain and the mid gain, I don't ever touch those, or this level, EQ level. I don't touch that at all. The only one I'll touch is this high cut, because sometimes you'll notice, like if you're playing high up for like really high lead lines, sometimes it can be a little much. So if I engage that high cut, you saw how it dropped it down to 14.5 hertz or kilohertz, and then it's off there. So if I want to do like just to cut the highs just a little bit, that's what that's doing. So I got where the low end's pushing a little bit, a little bit more, because I don't like things so shrill. That really bothers me, and it bothers people in the house as well in the main room. So that's why I did that. And then your studio compressor, I kind of don't touch any of this at all. I think the way that they dialed this one in is pretty good. If you want and you're not getting enough push, you can also try to push from this level too. That's just personal preference to you. I think these are things that you just need to try. If you have like any kind of time where you're sound checking or anything like that, if you can bring your laptop and HX Edit to your stage, and if y'all aren't crunched on time and y'all can kind of work that out as you go, that would be perfect. I think that's where you can get a feel for it for your ears, and also your sound guy can kind of, give his feedback a little bit, because at the end of the day, whether you agree with your sound guy or not, he's going to decide how you sit in the mix. So build a good relationship with your sound guy is all I'm saying. So right here is where my personal preset is different. So right here is where you would see the tremolo come in that Tone Factor puts in. And it's like an onboard tremolo, like if you had your tremolo on your amp, or like amp reverbs as well. This is where we actually took this out. And you'll notice I talked in my last pedal board video about how we went to the all-in pack that my buddy had, and we took the Glitz reverb. And I basically just copied all of this. And, well, that wasn't right. I don't know why that just did that. And so we copied all of this stuff and just threw it in here, because I like to have that onboard reverb just in case I need it after a song to like fill some space. So that's what this is doing right here. It just is there in case I'm in a patch where I can't get to my cloud setting. So other than that, I think that's about it. Yeah, so let's close out HX Edit and go back to regular camera. All right, so you'll notice I'm in a different shirt. This is a different day that I'm recording this outro. Either way, so that's a kind of a look of what I'm working with my HX Stomp. Hopefully that kind of explained how I'm running things, and how sometimes like you can find great presets and awesome presets, and sometimes you ain't got to touch them. Sometimes you might have to do a little bit of adjusting just for your application and the way that you have to run things. I will say that with the XRIRs, I would fully recommend the HX Stomp Tone Factor HRIRs. That's a lot of random letters. But I would definitely recommend those, because the way that those respond to overdrives is very nice. I was able to A/B them at our last conference, and just the way that they just handle everything is awesome. So that's the look at that. Make sure to like and subscribe. I thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to probably look at the analytics soon to try to see like what the percentage is, but it's crazy, the views and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's tuning in, but not everybody's subscribing. Make sure to also hit the bell notification for any time that I'm uploading videos just like this one. Leave comments for any videos that you like me to make or like me to talk about, and topics and all that kind of stuff. Make sure to check out the Hem Locker. Like I said at the beginning, I know I have been very slack on that, but hopefully we'll be having some videos coming soon for that. I'm also trying to play some time with some bass player stuff, so y'all can so for all your bass player friends, or if I have any bass players watching this, y'all can get a good a cool little video for that. But I'm working with a guy from our church, so we're just trying to balance in some time and stuff like that. So thank you for watching. Like I said, hit the like and subscribe. Check the links down in the bottom if you like to support the channel in any kind of way. And I will see y'all soon, and see y'all next week. All right, bye.